Does freedom have limits? Freedom. This powerful word inspires revolutions, fuels dreams, and lies at the heart of many human struggles. But is freedom truly limitless? Or to live in society, must we accept certain boundaries? Today, let's reflect on the concept of freedom and how far it can really go. The meaning of freedom. Freedom is often seen as the ability to act without restrictions, to live according to one's own choices and desires. Yet, at the same time, it comes with responsibilities. As philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre once said, "We are condemned to be free." In other words, freedom gives us choices, but it also demands that we take responsibility for their consequences. Now, imagine a life where you can do anything you want, without worrying about rules or other people. It sounds ideal, doesn't it? Perhaps. But think of the conflicts that would arise if everyone had the same unrestricted freedom. Your freedom could easily infringe upon someone else's, creating chaos and imbalance. The necessary limits? In society, individual freedom must coexist with collective freedom. This is where laws, customs, and social norms come into play. These rules may seem limiting, but they exist to ensure harmony. For example, you have the freedom to drive wherever you want. But to do so, you must follow traffic laws, such as obeying signals and speed limits. Without these rules, driving would become dangerous for everyone. It's the famous dilemma. My rights end where another's begin. In other words, being free doesn't mean doing whatever you want. It means acting responsibly so your freedom doesn't harm someone else's. When limits become prisons. On the other hand, we must be cautious to ensure these limits don't become prisons. Too often, governments, institutions, or even society impose restrictions that end up suffocating freedom. Think of authoritarian regimes where expressing an opinion can lead to punishment, or situations where prejudice prevents someone from living their truth. These limits go beyond necessity and become oppressive, stripping people of their right to exist fully. This is when movements for freedom arise, challenging these unjust barriers and fighting for equal rights and opportunities for all. Balancing freedom. The question then isn't whether freedom has limits, but how to find the balance. Living in society requires sacrifices. It means giving up some freedoms to ensure security, justice, and respect for everyone. But it also means resisting limits that are imposed unfairly or unnecessarily. Ultimately, true freedom isn't just doing whatever we want. It's about understanding the impact of our actions. It's about finding harmony between our personal desires and the collective good, creating a world where everyone can be free without compromising the freedom of others. Does freedom have limits? Yes, but perhaps these limits aren't enemies. They're tools for better coexistence. It's up to us to question, reflect, and adjust these boundaries to ensure they promote justice and equality. After all, one person's freedom only makes sense when everyone can experience it fully. What do you think? How far can freedom go without crossing someone else's boundaries? Share your thoughts in the comments and pass this video along to anyone who enjoys deep reflections like this.